Breaking in a new computer today. I can tell you from personal experience, it's a lot easier to start up a new computer than it was back in 1980 when I bought my first computer or had my computer jobs helping people design systems back in the 1970s, and God bless America, till the middle of the 1980s. Now, so many things are in the proverbial cloud. Cloud, of course, as y'all know, is storage not on our computer, but out in some facility, end quote. In real life, there's massive banks of storage facilities around the country, usually surrounded by windmills that go ahead and keep the power going with a minimum or minimization of impact on the economy, on the environment, not to count into the equation the materials and industrial output to go ahead and get those gigantic windmills formed, maintained, dig the pipeline, and the like in terms of transmitting the power. Well, that's another story. But in terms of how to get a new computer started, the hardest part of any journey, in my experience, is simply starting it. Let me translate that to everyday English. I have dreaded starting this thing up. I think I've had it on a shelf for a week now before I finally opened it up, plugged it in, powered it up, and it turned on. That was such a joy. Then again, turning it on, doing a couple of wireless, a mouse, and a keyboard. This would be the first time I've had a full-size keyboard, and I cannot remember when, because I've been just using laptop computer keyboards, and it's a great luxury to have a full-size keyboard. So one advantage: old dogs can learn new tricks. Two, just fumbling about and reading the directions, very handy to go do that. And when all else fails, I will be calling on a professional to actually go do some other stuff in terms of data transfer between one computer and another computer for the few things that are not in the cloud, but instead are on the hard drive of this particular appliance. Although we do utilize another cloud provider called Box, BOX, which stores lots of information not in our computers. But there's some things that are just flat on our computers, starting with, I don't know, memorable photographs and the like. Those are also backed up, but it's nice to have stuff really very handy in terms of that. And there's some tax information. No, we don't share your information with anybody. Thanks very much for asking. Yes, we installed a quick as a wink security system, and two actually, one called Entrada, another in terms of just an antivirus program, and then also be putting in a malware program. And then every day we'll get that computer checked by the Entrada people to let us know what kind of score we got out of. I think it's 850 is the maximum that you can get in terms of security within your computer. So we look forward to seeing how the new computer actually stacks up to the other computers that we are using and to our magic telephone that we're using. So what will this new computer do for us? In one case, I'm going to be taking this computer that I'm looking at right this second home with me, because the computer we have there is an older Dell computer, which has been needing replacement for some time. The new one is a newer version of the Dell, and it's something called a two-in-one computer, which means you disconnect the, much to my amazement, screen and use it basically as a giant Etch-a-Sketch or a tablet, a pretty good sized tablet. Don't know that I'll be hauling that around much, but it's nice to have. So, point, bought a computer from Dell, ordered it, financed it over a year at no interest. Be sure to make your payments on a regular basis, how you don't own interest. And then learning how to use it, learning how to get comfortable with it. And I have a client that we'll be seeing later today. Plus, talking to another broker dealer about how amazing they are and how sad our broker dealer is. It's always nice to shop the competition to see what they're doing. Then you have to say to yourself, would it be possible for you, John, to take a breath and slow down and let us catch up on this? What's the safest way to start a new computer? From my point of view, depending upon how confident you are with starting up a computer. Get some help while you're doing it. There are any number of classes available. I know we've had neighbors who have taught classes at what's now the Sam Johnson Recreation Center. And there's still a fellow that comes by once a month to the Sam Johnson Recreation Center in Plano and helps people who are having trouble with their computer or with their telephones. He does that about once a month. We also have some computer consultants running around who are very helpful in terms of helping you with stuff. There's a group called the Geek Squad, which will actually come to your house, and the PC doctors come to your house or your office to go and help you with that. I'm also surrounded by a bunch of geeks who know a lot more than I will ever know about this stuff. So get them up, get them running, have fun with it, and if you qualify and you need a new computer and you'd rather have your money growing someplace else, it's a great idea to finance that for a year if you want to, or just get it out of the way to not have a problem with it in terms of financing. Another thing to do is make sure if you're going to discard your old computer that you've taken the hard drive out and properly disposed of it by wiping it clean and making sure that your information is being preserved as opposed to inadvertently shared. Since those things have batteries in them, be sure and dispose of that properly and responsibly. And perhaps you can even donate it to a particular group that needs computers and refurbish computers. Not everybody's got a teeny laptop. As my deceased mother once said when I had a miniature laptop, which I really enjoyed. Saying, "Oh, Johnny, I guess that cost a lot less than the bigger computers because it's so small." I had to tell her, "No, Mom, when you buy a smaller computer, it actually costs more than the bigger computers because it's hard to get all that stuff in there." Years ago, I had bought an exotic laptop, again from Dell. And darn, if that thing did everything but work, and we had lots of work done on it, and it did not work. So that brings me to a third point, and that is if you get a computer that just flat doesn't work, and you have technicians tell you this thing needs a lot more repair that's worth fixing, even if it's brand new, give whomever sold you that thing a call and send it back. And normally they're very happy to exchange it with you for a new, improved model or example of the current model that you have. So no need to put up with lemons, and that does happen, I can tell you from personal experience, with computers that just don't in fact work. So get a computer, find the one that best fits your needs. Two, when you do order it and have it delivered to you, take the time to simply turn it on, flip it up, get started. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can download once you get hooked up to Wi-Fi. Three, learn how to use this new and improved technology that's available to you. Simply have fun with it for point four. Point five, if you get a bad one that just flat doesn't work after it's been examined by technicians, make arrangements to return it to them. Keep your data secure. Make sure you are the only one who can get in there in terms of the various things you can use in terms of a PIN, a password. If you're younger, your fingerprints might still work. We discovered earlier in the year, apparently, as you get older, your fingerprints kind of wear off. How do I know this? To renew my CPA certificate, Certified Public Accountant certificate, I was notified by the Texas CPA board, Public Accountancy Board, that you need to get fingerprinted. I thought, what? I had passed the exam and been a CPA since 1976, and now I need to get fingerprinted. So I went to the fingerprint place, and they fingerprinted me, and they had a lot of trouble with it. And the next day, I got a call saying, "Hey, we need to see you again." Why is that? Well, if you put lots of lotion on your hand, your fingerprints will come back up. At the time, I wasn't using much lotion, but after that experience, I learned to use lotion on a daily basis, which my wife Susie highly recommends. Also, I get another one of those for, carry permit. And I think there's one for the insurance license as well. So use lotion on your hands, keep them nice and moist, make sure you have fingerprints. There was one of my funny guys who's retired, said, "Oh, guess I can rob a bank now that they can't read my fingerprints anymore." Well, I'm not recommending that. I'm recommending using lotion I'm recommending keeping your fingerprints intact so if you ever need them, you'll have them to use in the future. This is John Checky wishing you a happy, healthy Tuesday.